Let's talk about child pornography. It's a strange thing to say, isn't it? But, well, that is the claim of a man called Spencer Elden. You might not know who Spencer Elden is, but I bet you'd recognise him if you saw a picture of him as a 4-month-old. He, of course, is the 4-month-old baby who was photographed in a swimming pool, grasping for a dollar bill being dangled in front of him on a fishing line. That featured on the front cover of the Nevermind album, the iconic Nirvana album. Well, that baby has all grown up and now 30. Spencer Elden claims that that picture constitutes child pornography. He did not give consent, could not possibly have given consent. His parents never signed a release authorising the use of his image on the album, and now he would like to have compensation. He is suing the members of the band over that. Well, let's talk about this with Alex Watt, who's a partner and intellectual property lawyer at Howard Kennedy. Good morning to you, Alex.
Good morning, Julia. How are you?
Very well indeed. Look, it's such an iconic picture. So iconic, in fact, that I've got a picture without the dollar bill bit. I've got a picture of my own daughter around the same age, exactly the same sort of pose. We did some photographs. Absolutely brilliant photograph. Absolutely love it. But although not naked, to be fair. Now, Spencer Elden is complaining that this is a nude image of a baby without permission from the parents or him, featured publicly. This is now child pornography. He should get damages. He's suing for $150,000 from each of 15 defendants, including surviving band members, including Dave Grohl, and also including Kurt Cobain's estate and Kurt Cobain's former wife, Courtney Love, and the photographer. What are his chances of getting that money?
I think probably fairly slim. I think this is probably an example of where there's a hit, there's a writ. And he's hoping that he should get paid something, given he featured on possibly the most famous album cover of all time, one of them.
Well, it's interesting also that he's now claiming to be so unhappy about this, but he's done numerous interviews in the past whenever there's an anniversary of this iconic album's release, and he didn't seem to have a problem with it before.
No, I understand he's featured in 3 different shots, recreations of this. He now has Nevermind, the album cover's title, tattooed across his chest. And he's sort of rather made a career, I think. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but of using this album and his having featured within it. He's worked with people like Shepard Fairey, the artist, and has spoken very positively about that. So it does seem strange, somewhat strange, that he should now be having these negative views.
Yeah, it does. It does seem very strange. Well, back in 2019, the photographer said that he was still in contact with Spencer Elden and acknowledged that he said in his words, conflicted about the picture. But apparently his conflict was he feels that everybody made money off it and he didn't. He thinks he deserves something because the record label obviously makes most of the money, as does the band. And of course, I mean, this album sold 30 million copies. This is when people actually bought albums instead of Spotifying and the like. And of course includes the absolutely iconic hits like Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, songs which most people could just rattle off their lips instantly. Do you think there's an element where, the cost of defending this case for these 15 defendants will actually end up being so huge that they may well just offer an out-of-court settlement and he'll agree to that?
I mean, I think his chances are probably fairly low. The reason he's brought it as a child pornography claim is likely because it's not going to be time barred in the same way as the other claims would. Whereas, the other claims would be copyright infringement. Well, you'd need to be the photographer or the person that hired the photographer, work for hire in the US, to own the copyright. Image rights, we don't have any image rights in the UK, but in the US, they're more developed. But of course, he's not the person that's going to be giving permission because he was 1 at the time this photo was taken. So that's up to his parents, and his parents did give permission. And, his parents, and he, as we've said, his parents are on record as describing what went on. It was a great party. They went down. They really enjoyed it. They have made no negative comments about any of it.
Yeah, which suggests clearly, that's a very poor case. I mean, given he's suing for more than $2 million in total, it doesn't look very likely he's going to get it, as you say. Alex Watt, partner and intellectual property lawyer at Howard Kennedy. Thank you very much indeed.